What's up with Tree of Knowledge? No, not this tree. The high-flying Canadian cannabis company suspended only months after cross-listing in Jamaica. Have the operations gone totally up in smoke? Well, I'm Kalilah Reynolds and it's time for another episode of Money Mondays JA, brought to you by Proven Wealth. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on those post notifications. Also subscribe to my newsletter at KalilahReynolds.com, and while you're at it, check out our other financial news on the website at KalilahReynolds.com/news. Now, back in October, the Jamaica Stock Exchange announced its decision to suspend the shares of Canada-based Tree of Knowledge International Corporation. The JSE admitted Tree of Knowledge as a cross-listed company in April under the ticker TOKI. Its shares are also listed on the Canadian Securities Exchange. The company describes itself as a leader in pain management, conducting research and developing CBD-based products to help ease pain. Now, despite its listing, you've probably never heard of Tree of Knowledge, and that's because it doesn't have retail operations in Jamaica. And also, the stock has never actually traded on the JSE, according to our analysis of official data. In fact, before it was suspended, several potential investors lined up to buy shares, but there were no sellers. The JSE suspended the company after it failed to file its June 2nd quarter financials. According to the JSE's rules, companies with quarterly financial statements, which are 45 days overdue, will have trading in their shares suspended until the reports are submitted to the JSE. Now, Tree of Life eventually posted its second quarter results on its website, but those results are still not posted locally. The company made $3.7 million in revenue between April and June. That's nearly 3 times more than a year ago. But it also lost $3 million compared to $1 million net loss last year. Now, the JSE also noted that Tree of Knowledge failed to provide timely disclosure about its management and board changes since listing on the JSE, as well as the current makeup of its audit committee. Some people may have been surprised by the company's suspension, but the JSE has rules about timely disclosures and compliance. This is what we saw happen with Tree of Knowledge. Companies listed on the JSE have at least 45 days after the end of every financial quarter to file their financial statements. The company's second quarter report was due in mid-August. However, they said that they would be taking advantage of extensions granted by the Canadian authorities in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. TOKI then announced that it intended to file the report by October 13, but it also missed that deadline, so they were suspended from the JSE on October 16, even though their financials were uploaded to their website the day before. In its statement, the JSE mentioned that there had been several correspondence and telephone conversations about the filing of its financials and other changes. Now, the onset of the pandemic did cause many public companies to delay the release of their financials. Canada, like most other countries, enacted shutdown measures to contain the spread of the virus, so the distribution of TOKI's cannabis products was likely halted, especially after Canada closed its borders with the US. The shutdown also likely impacted sales. Whatever the reason, the JSE felt it necessary to protect potential shareholders and the wider market. Up to mid-November, shares in the company under the TOKI ticker remain suspended despite the release of the financials on the Canada Exchange. Now, Tree of Knowledge isn't the first company suspended from the JSE. In some instances, suspension has actually pushed companies to improve. For instance, Pulse Investments shares were temporarily delisted in 2001 and also suspended in 2015 due to late filing. But Pulse reorganized and has been a market leader in subsequent years. Check out this other video I did on Pulse recently. The JSE will not hesitate to suspend or delist companies from the stock exchange in order to improve transparency. The Jamaica Stock Exchange deals with over 100 companies which are worth over 1.5 trillion Jamaican dollars combined. Therefore, it needs to be aware of what's going on with each company to ensure that they continue to meet the stock exchange's standard. The JSE rules are publicly available online for anyone to review. Additionally, listed companies are given a rule book at their listing ceremony. So what do you think about Tree of Knowledge and cannabis stocks in general? Good investment or still too risky? Let me know in the comments below. That's it for this week's episode of Money Mondays JA, brought to you by Proven Wealth. Follow them on social media at We Are Proven and visit their website, provenwealth.com. You can also ask your advisor at Proven Wealth what they think about this stock. And speaking of stocks, here's what's coming up on Taking Stock.
The National Housing Trust NHT is to forego $400 million in loan payments this year. We'll speak to Manager Corporate and Public Affairs of the National Housing Trust, Dwayne Burbick. And later the analysts weigh in on the latest market developments. The economy is down 11%. But Grace Kennedy continues to record significant growth. However, overseas, MasterCard reported a larger than expected drop in revenue and earnings for the third quarter. We'll discuss.
As always, thanks for watching. Stay safe, and here's a reminder to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share with your friends. Also subscribe to our newsletter at KalilahReynolds.com for the latest business news, analysis, and the transcript of this episode. I'm Kalilah Reynolds. Stay safe.